Hey, what's everybody up? Oh shit, I'm fucking up already. What's up, everybody? God damn it!
This is why I do the
I
intro.
don't see. This is why Modem does the intros and nobody else does them. Normally, whenever he's in the room, no one can do it with him in the present. Anyway, what's up, everybody? I'm your boy Blak Magus here with the flying modem. Say what's up.
What's going on, y'all?
And my boy YoruStrix, aka Prod, aka Man of a Thousand Names. Say what's up.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on?
All right, so today we're gonna be having I think, a pretty interesting discussion about the Bill Cosby situation. So I'm gonna start with Modem because I know you said earlier you don't follow it a lot. What do you know about it, and what are your thoughts about the situation so far?
Okay, let me first start off by saying this shit is old, and I don't mean like, oh yeah, women are just now coming forward, kind of old. I mean, I heard about this shit back in 2004 when I was 14 or 15, one of the two. Like, this is old news to me. So to see this shit brought up again and now it's an uproar or some shit,
Now,
it's
hold on, you
like,
just like gave a good dynamic 'cause I don't remember the talk about it in 2004.
He
Wait,
was Modem.
yo, I'm telling you, this shit is mad old, okay?
There was another case in 2004. Like he's had multiple cases.
which I'm honestly not surprised.
Right, I'm not surprised either if it was a different case. Okay, at any given point, right, what I'm saying is, this shit is old. Him being an accused serial rapist or date rapist or whatever the fuck you want to call him is old. Like, there's already been numerous accounts of this shit, and somehow, even though the internet was around back then, maybe not as prevalent, but it was around back then. You know, how did this blow over all the fucking radar?
You know what?
Just like,
I could tell you, like, I could give you a reason why, and this is the sad truth of our society, because Facebook and Twitter weren't that big or weren't around at that
right.
time.
Well, that's what I figured too. Like I said, the internet was around, but it wasn't as
Yeah.
prevalent as it is now.
Yeah.
But regardless, right? Like I said, it was on national news, all that shit. So for me, this is old because I already know about all this shit. Now, personally, the man didn't go to jail, so I thought it wasn't true originally. So, you know, fast forward 11 years, almost 12 years later, they taking this man to trial for a case that happened in 2004. So, I understand it's like 50 plus women or 37 plus women and still counting or something like that. From what I know, a lot of these women have been disproven, and they're a bunch of liars trying to get a quick check. Other ones are questionable. You know, my biggest thing right now is everybody's like, well, 50 women said he did it. He must have done it. That don't mean shit to me. Like, it can be 50 motherfuckers lying. You know, there's 7 billion people on the planet, and 50 people are saying it's true. That makes it true. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Especially when everyone has, like, the same fucking story. If you know anything about the psychological mindset of rapists, and especially serial rapists, because that's what he would be if he really did rape all these women. It would be a pattern, and the pattern would progress. They would get more aggressive. They would change a few things, or certain things would happen differently because everybody's fucking different. Every one of these women has damn near the same exact story. They go to his hotel room. He hands them something like, here, take this. They consciously go, okay, and decide for themselves to take this fucking drug. They claim they knock out. They don't know what the fuck happens.
Well, I thought they were saying he
And
put it in their drink or whatever.
some of them said that, if
It's
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
it's
But hold on,
But
Pride.
hold on, did some of them actually say he handed them a pill? Because
yes.
Yes, some of them did. Okay, so look. So this is my point, right? For one, everybody's in an uproar. Everybody's ready to crucify this fucking man. This nigga is like, what, 70 something at this point or whatever? 10 years ago, he would have been 60 something. I don't give a fuck. You could be the most healthiest man in the fucking world. Excuse me. Unless you're the most healthiest man in the fucking world, which he wasn't. This nigga was crippled even then. Back when I seen him in 2004, he had a fucking cane and some glasses. Nigga could barely see. Who the fuck is he raping? And then why are women who knows that this man is married? It's not a secret. Everybody knows this man is married. Why are women going to this man's hotel room, taking drinks with him and shit, taking pills? Like, oh yeah, this shit is all good.
That because I mean, sorry to any ladies watching, but there's enough of y'all out there who don't care how old they are, as long as there's someone with some type of money or prestige.
Right. So you
do what the fuck ever. Dude.
You went to his room to fuck. Point blank. Period. But even with all that being said, you know, this can go both ways, in my opinion. He got money. Why would he need to do this? But then, at the same time, people would be like, well, why wouldn't he need to do it and shit like that? But I'm more on the side of, it's fucking Bill Cosby. He got money. And there's plenty of women, like you're saying, Mike, you could have paid to do whatever the fuck ever. You can be like, yo, I want to drug your ass and have sleep with your fucking lifeless body. And have sex with your lifeless body while you sleep. I'll pay you like $10,000. You good? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, let's get this shit on the road. Like, why the fuck would he need to get random ass women? And none of these women look the same. It's not. That's what I'm saying. Like, none of these women fit no kind of profile. And I'm not necessarily saying that he needed a profile to go rape women or anything like that. But at the same time, it's like, if he's a serial rapist, if this is his MO, then he would go after particular fucking women. And none of these fucking women look the same. At all. And they all have the same exact story. We went to the hotel room. He gave us some shit. We knocked out. And I thought he raped me. Like, this shit is crazy. And everybody's like, well, 50 women said it. It must be true. And now we all want to be quick to fucking crucify this dude. Especially after there's articles and shit saying that a bunch of these rape cases and all that shit have been coming up because he was trying to purchase NBC. And, like, they don't want him to have NBC.
Arguing in his defense. They're saying that NBC and white people brought this up to stop him.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just a lot of fishy shit going on. This isn't... And I want to say this on my closing statement. If he did, in fact, rape these women, if he did, in fact, drug these women without them knowing, if he, in fact, did anything wrong, then he's wrong, and he should be put in jail. I just don't think he did anything wrong. It's in the fucking 70s, 80s, whenever the fuck it was. Niggas was doing cocaine openly, had cocaine spoons tied around their necks and shit. Like, the drug fucking era was there. People were taking all kinds of shit. Niggas was fucking everybody. I just don't see Bill Cosby, with all this fucking money, needed to rape fucking women. When everybody was already fucking everybody. Everybody was already doing drugs. But he goes out of his way to drug you, to rape you, while you're sleeping. Like, it just don't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. And I could counter some of the stuff that you said. I'm like, Prod go first, because somehow I feel like I'm going to land more in the middle of both of you. But Prod, what are your thoughts?
All right, so I disagree and agree with Modem on a couple of things. I do agree that the idea that 50 have come forward at this point, it does provide some validity to the statements, regardless of how many or who it is. Yes, I think at a certain point some of them are not necessarily being truthful. It's been proven to some degree where people accuse him of, one individual accused him of being at the Playboy Mansion drugging and molesting her. Neither was seen there in any of the footage. Neither would have seemingly come in contact in that place. He wasn't even in attendance on the night in question. So some of them, obviously, I think are misplaced. But saying that, I still think to some degree there is some validity in the claims. And I guess the big thing is that, and this is the really hard part about it, without trying to downplay it, because I think rape culture, especially here in America, is kind of not taken seriously. I think it's taken seriously when it's said, and this is coming from somebody that's been to a school that was all male and have seen people who lost their entire future because someone who most people recognize and know accused them of rape when they didn't do it. And it still ruins their lives. It's still, and I recognize that people have done it out of regret. There's many reasons why these type of things come up, but overall with Bill Cosby, what's probably the most frustrating situation is that it seems like, and if Bill Cosby by some miracle hears this, he's already lost. While he can go to court and more than likely he won't be convicted because there's literally almost no way that they can actually prove that he did anything, the court of public opinion has already crucified him. He is no longer and will no longer be held up by the good things he's done. He's only going to be remembered by all of this. This is how Bill Cosby's legacy has been. And I agree that I think to some degree this has to do with him purchasing NBC. This has something to do with him being in the position that he's in, and there are people that clearly don't want him to succeed. And I think the bigger thing is this idea of we can't have a discussion where I can say that I'm not going to demonize Bill Cosby. That makes sense. Yes, like there's been talk about how the stuff he gave them was a popular party drug back in the 70s and going forward, and that and for those that don't know, some of the 50 stories aren't even like sexual assault. Some of them are like, he touched me inappropriately, he grabbed my wrist forcefully, stuff like that. And it's a really weird case for me because obviously I respect the man for what he has done in terms of entertainment, in terms of Black America, in terms of just general the general publication of actual Black life here in the States, and even on a worldwide scale, and of a lot of the good that he has done. But that doesn't downplay the fact that it is a very real possibility that he does this. He has done this. I think that of the 50 cases, there may be a couple that are true. People make mistakes. I'm not going to, and yes, it's a horrible mistake, and it's one that shouldn't just be glanced over. But at the same time, if we crucify everybody immediately, I think it's going to end up causing a lot more problems. And does the fact that he's a Black man matter? Yes. You can look at plenty of stars that where I think, what star was it? Gilmore Girls. I think the father admitted to molesting multiple people, underage people, and the show is still in syndication, yet this Cosby Show has been pulled. There's a lot more to this than just Bill Cosby being charged with something. I think this has a lot more implications about what's going on in general around the country, the race discussion that's been built up over the past few years, and overall kind of the climax that we're moving towards where race relations are going to have to change here in America. And they're changing in a big way. And again, it's one of those things. It's a hard thing to say, and I know people don't like bring race into it, but this is something that does not surprise me being a Black man in America. It's not surprising. I think Bill Cosby has a good lawyer. She knows what she's talking about, and I will say again, he probably will not be charged with anything because there's no way you can charge him. There's not enough evidence to prove without a reasonable doubt that he was charged with anything. And I guess that's kind of what everybody's looking for. But again, he's already lost in the court of public opinion. So whether or not he has something on his record doesn't really matter at this point.
I don't think
my feelings.
That even though he's, like you're saying, guilty in the public's eye, I don't think that will, stay true. Once he's, found out guilty, of course, there's going to be the people who...
Well, an example, I guess I would counter that. Look at
guilty.
Michael Jackson. How many people still make jokes and really still think that he
Oh yeah,
touched those
but
kids?
see,
Or
there's more people now than it was. Like, of course, there was people who still think that, like you're saying, but more people now believe he didn't do it than originally. And like, Bill Cosby, if he's around for the next, 10 years or whatever, it'll be forgotten. It'll blow over. But I don't necessarily, want it to blow over if he's really wrong. And that's my thing. Like, it's not even about, for me, whether he's black or white or what the fuck ever, or what celebrity hasn't been, charged, or what celebrities have. Ultimately, it comes down to, all of a sudden, this shit is popping back up. All of a sudden, people are asking for checks, people, asking for this and that, and it's like, any rape, and I know a few rape victims. The rape victims I know don't want no fucking money. They want they rapists in jail. And, it's weird when all these women came forward after someone supposedly got a check. And I just don't think, and personally, I don't think he raped them. I think it was consensual sex between two adults that involved drugs. And yes, he provided said drugs, and, they did what they did, and now women are coming back like, oh, he raped me.
Well, and I agree, yes, on that point to some degree. I
also want to point out that I do agree, like, him being a rapist is a possibility, and I'm not saying that it's impossible, but at the same time, I find it very unlikely, especially during the time and who the man is. Like, why would he need to rape you?
I think that there, of 50 cases, there is the possibility that some are true. Like, I think that regardless of the snitches, yeah, plenty of people I have consensually used drugs during sex, and it's all this type of stuff that you may have regrets 20 years from now. And again, that's why I'm saying at the end of the day, regardless of what people are saying that they want justice is there isn't a legal case to be made. It's not me being rude, but there isn't a legal case as of right now, the way things stand, to be made against Bill Cosby. And if there is, it's another one of those, again, racial things that you have to call into question. If you can get charged with a crime that people say you did. Now, keep in mind, that's the other thing. This wouldn't have been brought to court under any other circumstances, because what this is there is no real evidence beyond people saying something. That's not to downplay the idea that somebody is saying something, but in any other sense, there would have been a lot more investigation than has been really done here. But Mike, what are your feelings, I guess, on the matter as a whole?
Okay, so yeah, I do kind of sit more in the middle, because the things that bother me the most about this actually don't really have to do with Bill Cosby himself. As far as Bill Cosby is concerned, do I think he's capable of doing it? Yes. When you were saying, like, the whole thing about him having the drugs and everything, and why would someone with money have to do it? Sadly, we just had a pure example of how your status doesn't matter if it's something that you're into, with the football player who just recently got convicted, Darren Sharper.
Mm-hmm.
He drugged 7 women and raped them because he was into that. That was his thing. It was kind of like a thrill for him to have that power, to be able to do whatever he wanted without them being able to stop him. And that's why he did it. I mean, this guy had Super Bowl rings, MVPs, defensive MVPs. He still had money. He left his career at an age with his health. Good-looking guy, financially stable, well off. I mean, he made millions
Right.
But he chose to go to clubs and slit women's Mickeys and then take them home and do whatever he wanted to. So, I mean, I can't say to know the. I mean, the thing about the whole rape thing is they don't. I don't think he saw it as rape. That's the thing. I just thought he saw it as his way of getting off, and that could possibly be what happened with Bill Cosby if it's true that that was just his way of getting off. It was his connection to a sense of power or something. I don't know. I can't even begin to explain why people feel that that's cool because I would never do some dumb shit like that in the first place. If you don't want to fuck me, that's fine. There's 7 women for every 1 man on this planet, and if I'm really pressed for some pussy, I'm pretty sure I can get one of those 7. Or again, like you said, he got money. You can pay somebody to let you do whatever the fuck you want openly, and don't give a fuck about it. So, but it could have been a weird thing he did. Do I believe all 50 of them? Hell no. Of course, there's a bunch of them in that mix that was like, yo, I need to like come and get a paycheck. I think they figure that he's gonna pay them because he's a married guy, and a lot of married dudes will pay women to shut them up to try to preserve their marriage. So maybe that's what they think that he's gonna pay. He ain't gonna give them shit because they have no proof. Like we were saying, a lot of them have no proof or no legs to stand on with their stories. So it's only the ones who can come up with a believable case who can get him in trouble. And money's not going to be the issue because nobody's going to. I mean, if you're willing to take a paycheck from someone who raped you, something's fucking wrong with you. Like you said, if you raped, you don't want their money. You want to see them punished for what they did. If anything, you want to see somebody rape them and humiliate them and make them feel like you feel. You know what I mean? You ain't trying to get paid. That pay because that money isn't going to like restore the psychological damage they did to you. So, I mean, it's a weird case, a case that I feel like nothing's gonna come about it because the women who are being the most vocal about it aren't the most reputable people, and they're gonna pretty much make it easy for his lawyer to get him off. So he's probably gonna get off. I believe that a lot of the hype about this is, like I was saying earlier, Facebook and Twitter, social media. Everybody has access to this stuff now and can say what they want, and everybody's being loud and vocal. So you're getting a lot of people talking a lot of shit about this thing. Whereas back, like you said, back in 2004 when it was brought up, it was something that we all forgot because I forgot about that shit. But I know about it, constantly now because I can go on my TL at any time. I bet you if I go right now on my timeline, there's somebody saying some shit about Bill Cosby. Because that's all people do on social media is continue. Once something comes out, they won't let it go. So it's going to keep being talked about until it's finally said and done. And then maybe they'll move on from the subject. But it's not going to ever go totally away because there's always going to be somebody with a mem. There's always going to be somebody who wants to, get on a soapbox. This is always going to consistently be around because that's the nature of the internet these days. But that being said, the thing that bothers me the most is the reactions from both sides. The people who condemn, and it's weird, but I'm more bothered by the defense because of some of the things that people I know have been saying. It bothers me partially because, especially from the Blak perspective, because I remember the reaction when he did his pound cake speak, and he called out black people for not raising their kids, not pursuing their education, only caring about getting money and not helping the community. When he went the fuck off in that speech, and I'm gonna put the link in our chat in case you guys might have forgot about it. But when he went
Nah, I
off,
know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, people were pissed.
Right.
Black America ain't like Bill Cosby. They were like, oh, he just want to be white. Fuck him. He don't care about his community no more. He's wrong for saying that about black people. Why is he talking about business in public? Blah blah blah. I'm sorry, but it may have been a harsh tone, but that speech was 100% right in a lot of ways. He was basically asking for his people, the black community, to get their shit together.
Right.
But black America hated him. Now all of a sudden, it's a whole 180. Now everybody's like, don't fuck with Bill. You just doing this to Bill because he's black. Blah, blah, blah. Do I believe that some of it is because he's black? Sure. I'm sure there's always a racial tone of things. There's always a racial, sexual, how anytime it involves somebody of a different class, color, sexuality, whatever, there's always going to be that group in the mix that has some agenda against that. That's just the way we are as human beings. It's something that has been going on for years. Even before slavery, there were always classism, whatever, sexism, racism, all that stuff. It's a failing of humanity, and that's just what's going. That's just what it's going to be. But I don't think it's as deep as a lot of people want to make it. Like people who throwing out all the conspiracy theories. Do I think it's because he wanted to buy NBC? No. I do think that there's some people out there who don't fuck with Bill Cosby and who like the idea that they can finally embarrass this guy, they're more than willing to put a lot of these women up there to make him look worse, yes. But I don't think it's like a white America's conspiracy to destroy him. I know I'm sure this guy has built enemies. The way that Bill Cosby talks, he has to have enemies. Because he's a very blunt person. He doesn't hold his tongue. People don't like that shit. And I'm sure, somebody out there is more than happy to see this shit happen. But I don't think this the conspiracies that people... I think people now are taking this as an advantage to get up on their soapbox and bring attention to themselves. Because, again, this is the era that we are in. Like, everybody has a way to gain attention from this, and I think that's what we're getting a lot of. So I don't. It's a weird situation that I hate to see, because it's like, one, you have this guy who's done a lot of good. Does that say that he couldn't have this weird sexual thing about him? No. At the same time, you have people on both sides just like, I wish they didn't take the extreme route to the thing. It's like, if you believe he did it, you're just all of a sudden he's just a complete, total, utter monster that you have no doubt in your mind. He's always been this supreme monster, and he's raped 300 women, and he's probably cheated on his wife with another 300. You know what I mean? It's like their story is going to huge. It's gonna the whole thing's gonna get huger. The people who don't think he is, it's all because they don't want to see him shine. They just want to bury him because he's black. They just don't want him speaking his mind and all. It's like, I think this is just a case of someone found a chance to try to make a name for themselves off this situation, and they're pushing for it. And they're going to fail, because I don't think he's going to get convicted, whether he's guilty or not. It's been too many years, and the stories are too shaky. Nobody's presented anything that shows concrete evidence. If he was doing this back in the 70s, 80s, then he picked the perfect era to do that, because there's no cell phones or cameras everywhere to catch them and to document this stuff like now, which is kind of funny because thinking back to like the Ben Roethlisberger case, they have footage of him going to the bathroom with the lady, but he never got convicted. You know what I mean?
Right.
And stuff like so it's. And could that have been racial? Sure, that could have been racial. I think it's more of he's a fucking star quarterback, and yeah, he's gonna get off. I mean, but that could be racial too. But of course, I think it also goes down to how popular you are too. And Ben Roethlisberger is very popular. Bill Cosby, for all he's done, who's really talked about Bill Cosby like that? I think we've talked more about Bill Cosby this year than we've had in the last 10 years.
And I guess that's part of the point.
Yeah.
Well, see, my thing is, like I said, the video you're talking about, Mike, where he, came at the black community about not raising their kids and everything, shortly after that video was announced, articles and websites and videos about how he's a rapist and he has no right to say these things to us. He's a hypocrite. He's this, he's that. That's when it all started.
Okay, so the black community brought that shit out.
If they did, or some white people brought this up, like, hey, black people, this is
no,
what
the only reason I asked
did or whatever.
He had no right to say this to us. I'm trying to think. Was it like black sites that were saying this? Because I know a lot of black sites.
No, it wasn't a BT or anything like that. I would consider like that the most immediate.
I remember there were a lot of articles and a lot of responses from black people, famous, and like this web media sites that eviscerated him for what he said.
And this is gonna sound, I guess, really weird, but Bill Cosby for a long time, and I mean, I would still argue to this day, is the quintessential example of what a black father in America has been taken, not even just in the U.S., but on a worldwide scale. So when something like this happens, the black community speaks out, because anybody that's watched the Cosby Show for a prolonged period of time feels like to some degree they knew who Bill Cosby was, or at least the father that Bill Cosby was, and felt that they had that sort of connection. So I think the response is from a place not just of anger or detest. It's also like a painful response, like the idea, and it comes back to the idea of putting people up on pedestals. You shouldn't put anybody so high up on a pedestal to not recognize that they're human. Like, so many people really thought that, because like when it first came out, like Dr. Cosby or Dr. Huxtable wouldn't do this, Bill Cosby wouldn't do this, because look at all this, and as more people came out, it turned into that angry side. And I think that that's why you saw the response, especially from the black community. It's the idea of like, people feel as though he betrayed us, as opposed to saying he's a human being. It's not me even trying to downplay it either. It's just everybody does fucked up shit in one way or another.
Right.
It's just a fact of life. But because of who he is, that pedestal that he's upon on the black community, I mean, it'd be the same thing if, God forbid, it came out that President Obama killed somebody. It'd be the same exact type of a thing where we trusted you, we believed you, we put our faith in you, we thought this, that, the other, and so now we are going to crucify you because of you betrayed us. I think that's more of the response, at least what we saw initially, and what's like gone on. I understand people that stand with rape victims. I understand people that who take certain stances, but I think it has a lot more to do with their own personal anger towards, or their own personal feelings towards the person that have in turn been proven, I wouldn't say false, but to them proven false.
Yeah, and I get that. No, but my thing was like, you had a lot of anger towards him when he asked you to be better people. You didn't like that. And now all of a sudden you got this guy's back. I find it weird how we do that. Like, we can hate someone for calling us out for our flaws and then turn around and defend them for a possible flaw. Like that, for something as serious as rape. You know?
Nope.
And because well, he's a black man, we gotta have his back.
But even still, most people don't want to be called out like that. Nobody wants to be called a bad parent, and if they really care about their kids, I should clarify. If you didn't want to have kids, then you probably don't give a fuck. But
I
most
mean,
people,
Well, no,
most parents that are parents that are good parents wouldn't even give a fuck.
yeah, I was just about to say
yeah,
exact thing. If I am a good parent, I'm gonna look at that and be like, well, I don't do that shit, so what is it to
well,
me?
because that's the thing. I think it is, and it's people. It is people's own guilt when you recognize that you don't fall into the good category. Like it is again, it's that idea of you still don't want to be called out. Like you still, regardless of what it is, whether it's if you, I'll put it towards an analogy in school. It's the idea of regardless of if you feel like you like the information or not, nobody wants to be called out and been proven wrong by the teacher. Nobody wants to be told that they're wrong publicly for everybody to see. You can feel that you're in the right, feel that you're in the wrong, but once somebody puts it out there and proves it, then it's a completely, because we care so much about, again, the court of public opinion. We care so much about how people perceive, how we act, what we do, what we feel, that for it to be out in the open like that, again, it's that idea of family business should never be talked out in public. Why is it that we have to hide everything that we do? That we can't admit that we make mistakes? Again, it's the moment something goes public, it becomes something so horrendous. Like I know plenty of black people, they may not support Bill Cosby, but they're going to support him because he's black. No,
Yeah.
that's not.
And I guess that's something that I had. Part of what my issue is because again, he wasn't a black man when he was asking you to do better. Now he's your brother, and you standing next to him. Like, why aren't you standing next to him when he's trying to help you be a better person? It just that I think that's why I have the biggest. That's the thing that bothers me the most. And this is where, like, I know you were saying you didn't want to get to a social issue. This is where it gets really social for me because I see people I know who I know they did not like that shit and they talk fucking mad shit about Bill Cosby, but they're the ones posting all these memes, talking about like how society's tearing the black man down through Bill Cosby and all this. Like, wait, when this man like told you to get your shit together, you were like, fuck him, he's an Uncle Tom. Now all of a sudden, like,
It's
what?
I don't know how to say other than anybody that has siblings. I guess it's that even the black community to some degree works on that mentality. I can talk shit about my brother all I want. I don't give a fuck. Like I can say whatever. I can tear him down. I can rip him a new one whenever. But the moment someone outside of that group is doing the attack, the moment someone outside of that a group is making the comment, no, that's not all right. That's my brother. I'm gonna have his back. It's a mentality thing where it doesn't work both ways, even though it should. And yeah, I agree. It's a social idea. Like there's so many people that like it was the common belief that President Obama got in because he was black, and black people voted for him because he was black, not because they cared about political issues, not because they cared about what he was saying, but because he was black. People deserve to be are seen as right or wrong based on the fact that they're black or white, and you have to feel a specific way about the case because of the person being black or white. And I mean, race plays a factor in everything.
Right.
Like we, again, as three black males, to some degree, I think that we can all recognize that whether or not it's true or not, we could end up in a similar situation. Whether we did anything or not because we can say whatever, but it is it's a situation that is too real of a thing to happen that especially black males I think care about. Like again, it's Bill Cosby. It's Bill fucking Cosby. The man was about to buy NBC and look where he is now. He is basically seen as just some evil ass dude. Like it's that idea is what is it fuels so much of the feeling behind it. I have to have his back because, and there's some people that are guilty because they probably did the things that he did and felt like, nah, that's not rape. That's not rape because if I say it's rape, but at the same time, there are people that are just like, I'm going to actually follow the justice system. Um, I don't know. It's a ridiculously complicated thing because I think you can go to a group of 1,000 people, ask each one, and you will probably get 5, 10, 15 different answers group wide of why they feel the way that they do about the situation. It's again one of those things that the internet tries to make black and white. You're either for rapists like Bill Cosby or you're against rape. Versus, I'm not for rape. But at the same time, I'm not gonna crucify Bill Cosby.
Yeah, and see
I
that's
mean, personally, I just don't think that he raped these women. I'm on the stance of this was consensual sex between adults that partake in drugs, and now they're coming back saying that, you know, um, most of them, I should say, are coming back saying that they drugged him. And if he did, if let's say women really, if some of these women weren't willing to have sex, then he thought they were, and he wasn't really trying to rape them, and he thought that they were putting on an act or some shit.
Well,
I
I
don't
mean
think
that.
necessarily he was like, bitch, come here, you're gonna take this shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm Bill Cosby, I do whatever I want. I don't think that's what happened.
Well, let me ask. Well, again, that brings up the conversation about rape culture, lol, rape culture, with the idea of if somebody willingly takes the drug and agrees to it, but again, at some point during wants to stop.
Mm-hmm.
If you continue, that would that still not be like it's that weird conversation where you have to have the idea of if at any point, and again, the way my father put it to me is if at any point she says no, you stop. It doesn't fucking matter when, where, what, any of that shit. If it is clear enough that it is a no, like
Right.
a no basically saying stop, then you stop. It's the idea of regardless of what mental state it is, you have to abide by that. Because again,
Right.
was she in a mental state to say no after having said yes prior to taking the drug? Was she in the mental state to say yes after taking the drug? Well, like and that's where it's this discussion that while it's a needed discussion, I wish it wasn't coming about in this way.
yeah. Because there's a lot of things about rape, like having known a couple of people who've been through that too. You'll hear, like, in some cases, they don't really want to say anything because they feel embarrassed that they were, quote unquote, stupid enough to put themselves in that situation. It's like, I don't think any woman goes on a date with a guy thinking he's going to forcibly, um, you know, have sex with her. If that's how they felt, they probably would have never went out with him.
Exactly.
Like, I know
Right.
somebody who went out with somebody who they known for years, and they really trusted this dude, and it was just like all of a sudden he just flipped on her, and he raped her, and it fucked her up because it's like this is somebody who she knew for years. Everybody knows this guy as like this certain type of dude. It's just like if if they were to come out in the 70s and said that, Bill Cosby, the creator Fat Albert, comedian, or back in the 80s, Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable raped me. Who people would look at her and be like, "You're lying," and she'd get eviscerated. I mean, it could have been situations in some cases like that because you can't say that. No, this is the guy who gives the perfect example of what the black family should. He would
Now,
never do something like that.
I do disagree with you on that.
I've seen it though.
I'm not gonna say. I'll say it also that again. That's something else that I think depends on race. A lot more than I think we want to admit. And I'm not going to discount the way the woman felt and what her opinions and how she acted. But what I'm saying is, I feel that if a white woman came out and accused Bill Cosby of this at that period in time, it would have been taken ridiculously seriously, and they probably would have tried to get him for anything they could because of what he was doing and what he was seen as. It's that idea of
Well, yeah. Now that I
take the
will
best
agree
of
with
us.
you. Yeah.
Like they would try and do that, but I think I agree to some degree. Like there are
No,
plenty
but
of
if it was
people.
like a white woman accusing a white star, like we've seen before, people will do that. It's happened before with famous white stars where a white woman say, "No, he raped me," and people like, "Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
He's such and such. He don't need to do that shit. You're
Right.
crazy." You know. But yeah, I think if it were a white woman to come out and say Bill Cosby raped me, Cosby Show canceled. He in jail.
He'd be done. It's not something to laugh about, but it's the state that like not much has changed. Like from not much would have changed from the 30s, 40s, 50s. However, where you wanted to, like as you move towards segregation, even into slavery, like not much changed in that period of time to where some shit like that went down. You're done. It's just the way that public work, and I think people now are more willing to come forward because victim blaming has gotten better. Is it good? No. Victims are still blamed a lot of the times. You have that whole stupid about what she's wearing and all that other stupid shit.
Yeah. Very stupid shit.
Yeah, that's that's a completely different topic, but it's gotten better to the point where
God, the way she dressed, you knew she wanted.
I mean, why else would she dress like that, dog?
Exactly.
So I know, cause that's what I make to everybody. I'm like, so you look at the back of your fucking car and just see a fucking hole that you gotta stick your dick in, because I mean the car, like you see moisture, you see heat coming off of that shit, so you just got to like get the fuck out of. Sorry,
it's really stupid.
It's
the dumbest thing in the world.
That's one of those things that just does get me like, oh. But I think it's gotten better now, and I guess with more people come forward. But I guess like y'all both kind of got into, this has gone kind of beyond whether or not Bill Cosby is innocent or guilty anymore.
Right.
This because again, to anybody that really pays attention to law, I would be surprised if he got charged with anything. Well, anything in terms of being rape related, sexual assault related.
They're saying he's already arrested and
yeah. It's now a question of going through the court case procedure. Remember, he just posted $1 million bail, and he had to turn in his passport. He's going to trial.
Well, and this is what I'll say to anybody. The same thing I said, if you want to take a different case, same thing I said when it came to Ryan Zimmerman and any of the other cases involving the Black Lives Matter movement. The idea is that in America is that we argue you have to be proven without a shadow of a doubt. And there is not enough evidence to, without a shadow of a doubt, without ignoring evidence, you can't say without a shadow of a doubt that he did or did not do the things because of how long has passed since the thing happened. It's not to say it did or didn't happen. It's just the amount of time that's passed. To say it would be almost impossible. And yes, I would bring up the idea of we have video of people being killed, yet and not getting charged with something beyond a reasonable doubt, regardless of whether that's murder or manslaughter. So it's the idea of someone saying that someone raped them 30 years ago is going to stand up in a court of law. It is that weird question about the American legal system of just who is it serving or how is it going to operate for this case.
Well, it's also like that because in the vice versa, if he really didn't do this shit and someone just comes out of 30 years out the woodwork like, hey, he raped me, should they throw him in jail just based off of saying that?
And that's where I agree with you. That wouldn't happen in any other situation. Because again, we can have video of a man being choked to death.
This kind of happened some ways.
But
you just remind me of this case with this wrestler who everybody thought killed his girlfriend 30 years ago. He just got charged for the murder. Even though there's no real evidence.
And that's the thing. Like, the court of public opinion has become a piece of evidence where it should never be a piece of evidence in any situation.
I agree. Like
part
we
of
all have our opinions, but at the end of the day, you don't got nothing on me. You can say
like
what you want.
Yeah.
it's like it's not, again, I'm not saying whether or not he did it. I'm saying the way our legal system is, unfortunately, we are not at a place where we can say that he, without a shadow of a doubt, did it. You can make
Me
assumptions.
personally.
All we know is he bought Quaaludes with the
Right, me
intention of giving
personally.
them to
Yeah,
And
like,
he said
so how
that.
did they know he got the Quaaludes? Did they got the receipt?
Well, see, first
Well,
off, he admitted to it in
in
the
a
court of law that he drugged women and fucking
well, no,
bought
he didn't say that he drugged
the
women. He
drug.
said he bought the Quaaludes for the purposes of that. He never said he gave them to anybody. He never said he did it without their consent. Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff where people are like, well, he did this, which means he did. No, he bought.
Okay, so basically
He's
they're
admitted that
assuming and like
He bought a very popular drug.
he bought a party sex drug
Yeah.
to give to women to have sex with. That's what we know. He bought it, and that was the purpose that he bought it for. How he used them, what he did with them, if it was consensual or not.
Yeah, well, you don't know.
And that's where it becomes difficult. And I mean,
see, that's why my personal opinion of the matter is I don't think that he actually raped these women. And if someone was not willing, he didn't take it seriously, and he kept going. And to me, that's not personally rape. While technically that's rape. We can be technical all day, but it's like, did he mean to rape her, or did he just thought I'm Bill Cosby? Why would she say no or some shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets too into this realm of, well, if we convict Bill Cosby because of this shit, and he didn't mean to rape these women, like honestly didn't mean to rape these women, what about all these other people who come out, well, shit, with the people who got away with shit because there was no intent to rape these women and shit
I guess
like that.
that's the weird thing. The part about rape is rape has nothing to do with the intention of the person who raped someone. Bill Cosby could have thought he wasn't raping them.
Yeah, because you got to remember statutory rape. You can go to fucking jail if you fuck a 16-year-old.
And it's the idea of whether or not
over the age of you're 18 or older.
like, and that's the weird thing. Like, your intention doesn't fucking matter in a rape case. Like, it just has no bearing. What matters is how the person who is putting the charges out felt about the situation. So if they feel that, and that's the other question, did you feel that the next day? And if you felt that the next day, why didn't you go get yourself checked out? Like, it's not me even you don't have to talk to anybody. You can go see a doctor, though. You don't have to mention rape. You just want to go get yourself checked out. It's the idea of the questionability comes in when you're saying 20, 30 years from then, he raped me. It sounds really weird.
It does. And like I said, some of these women are like, he handed me a pill and I took it. Like, not to be victim blaming, but are you stupid? Like, you didn't ask what it was, but you consciously made the decision to take it? Like, I wouldn't trust no fucking body with some shit. They're like, here, take this. Like, what the fuck is this
The
shit?
only thing I can say for a counter to that is that if you're a like person who's into drugs, and he just told you, yo, I got this drug that's going to make you feel good, if your drug addict ass probably just like, okay, whatever.
See,
and
to me, then that's like...
That being said, yeah, you're stupid, but at the same time, that doesn't give him the right to go ahead and continue. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I'm not saying. I'm not saying because you took this drug that he handed you, that means he gets to do whatever he wants with you. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, once someone hands you some shit, and you're like, whatever, I take drugs anyway, or whatever the fuck went through your mind that made it okay for you to go and take this fucking unknown drug, or what the fuck ever it is. It could have been AIDS for all you fucking know. And you took the shit. Like, that's on you. And what happens afterwards, out of your power, is it... But as soon as you go and take this fucking drug, you made the conscious decision to do that.
But once he sticks his dick in your unconscious body, then that's on him.
Right.
Well, and I will say Huffington Post Live did a piece a while back with his lawyer where they kind of talked through this. And the easiest thing I can say is, like, The lawyer's stance is, and she again didn't, and as a lawyer, you're not supposed to admit whether you think the person did it or not. You can't say that. But her point was almost what we're saying. Is Bill Cosby, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the court case says. Like, he's, and in my opinion, he's going to be found innocent. There isn't enough evidence otherwise.
Right. There's no in between.
50 testimonies is, yes, a good number of testimonies, but there are a bunch of people with varying stories and varying degrees.
All of these fucking quote-unquote testimonies have been disproven.
Well, some of them have, and it's the idea that not all of them are for rape, which is another thing that people seem to clearly matter. Like, sexual assault,
not even clearly
rape.
matter, but they don't know, because even I did not know that. I thought they were all rape cases, but you tell me.
And that's
where it goes to the media. The way we get stuff, our information, how the media works now with the internet. All you heard the word rape, everybody ran with it. Not everybody talked about the total details.
We heard rape, 50 women, so that means 50 women came forward saying that.
People just cherry pick what they want, the worst of the things, and culminate a story.
And it's sad in that respect that I think that a lot of people are like, well, obviously if 50 women are saying 50 aren't. That's not what's being happened.
I hate to do this because I'm setting myself up, but it goes back to what we said on the podcast about me and the thing about the married women story. Everybody has that whole story now that I go out of my way to sleep with married women because all they heard was Mike and a married woman.
Yep.
And the details don't matter.
You need enough words to make a hashtag and enough words to make a catchy headline.
Right.
And that's all you need nowadays. And it's not to sound, it's the way media and information operates. And it doesn't just stand to political topics. It crosses the bounds of every type of news and media outlet nowadays, to where the thing that may seem stupid, smart, shocking, whatever, that's going to catch people's attention and people are going to come check it out. But people don't care enough to look at the details, the small things of what the actual truth is there. They would rather get the general idea and run with the general idea.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely right now. That's why you have this sharp. I think you have this like really sharp divide over his defenders and his condemners, because nobody is listening to everything, the whole of the story. That's why I personally think that he's going to get off. Do I think he's a rapist? No.
But I'm saying that, and that's the thing. People need to recognize those are two very different questions.
Yeah.
Like, did he do it versus is he going to get convicted in a court? Are two very different questions.
Yeah.
Like, because there are plenty of times where you can feel someone did or did not do something, and what happens in a court of law does not line up with that statement. How you feel and how the case ends up should be held as separate things. And people have to recognize, just because I feel that X, Y, and Z happens does not mean that that's how things are going to work out. Everyone has the best intentions. But what's the saying? What the path to hell is paved with the best intentions, or something like that. Like, nobody really knows. Like, we can't really say either way. And the idea of whether or not you're right, we won't know. Bill Cosby is the only person at the end of the day. Bill Cosby and those women are the only people at the end of the day that know one way or the other, that know the actual truth of the situation. And honestly, Bill Cosby probably don't remember most of the women at this point, old as he is. So yeah, and that's the weird thing. My biggest issue with the situation is that it's another one of those questions that divides America, is the idea of you're either for it or you're against it. And that's not how it works.
Yeah, because I don't think any of us are like 100%. Like Modem said, sure, he doesn't put anything past anybody, but he just don't think he did it. That's not him saying, I personally endorse that Bill Cosby would have never, and has never done that. He just don't feel like he has done it. You know what I mean? Am I
Yeah,
correct in that?
yeah. Cause like I said, it's the possibilities are always there,
Yeah,
but I don't personally think he did it.
yeah, and that's as far as it goes. I think that's the same with all of us. You know, the possibility is there. We just don't think either he did it or we don't think he's going to get convicted for it at all.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's where it should drop. Let it play out. Let's actually see what happens if they do find some like evidence that might change our minds. Even, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not. Again, I can't get like too
What's
hyped
the deal?
one way or the other. Especially not in the conspiracy. I've never been a big conspiracy theorist type of person anyway.
Right.
Like, yeah, do I think there's some racial elements? Sure, because there are some people, white people, I'm sure, that look at Bill Cosby and his success and they can't stand, especially, again, like I said, he's a very outspoken person. And
Right.
being an outspoken black person on top of that, especially back in the era where his like his biggest time, that was a no-no. You know, it's like no,
Yeah.
black people ain't supposed to talk like that back in the '70s, in the early '80s. Like, no, are you crazy? So yeah, he has some like enemies that would love to see take him down because of his skin color. That, but do I think that this is a payback for trying to buy NBC? No, because the reality is, if you want to like bring up a racial element to that, the racial element is the reason he doesn't own NBC is because they didn't want to sell to a black man. They wouldn't want to. I mean, he couldn't have forced them to sell to him. So therefore, why would NBC or whoever saw him try to buy NBC decide the retaliation is to get him convicted of rape? That makes no
Well,
sense.
I think, and this would be, I guess, the speculation part of that. I agree that part of it is that they don't want to sell it to him, and without the side being that NBC is racist, which
Well, no,
is,
I'm not saying that. I'm not
I
saying
mean,
that. I'm just saying like
this gave them
this is
the
how the like theory people who trying to throw that theory out to say that this is the white man's retaliation for a black man daring to buy NBC. Get the fuck out of here.
yeah, okay, I agree that it's not a retaliation, more like an excuse.
Yeah.
It's a reason that they can say, see, this is why we don't want to sell it to you.
No, I'm talking about the people who are defending him. People who are defending Bill Cosby are saying the reason that he's been brought to trial over the rape is because he was a black guy who tried to buy a white TV network. And
All
this is white people.
and I guess you said it. I'm not gonna say that is 100% true. All I will say, I don't believe in the idea of coincidences in situations like these. The timing of when somebody steps forward is
When did
very.
he try to buy NBC? That was like way
He
before.
tried to buy NBC 3 times.
Yeah, that was before all of this came to light.
Nah, this is around the same time.
Oh, okay, so when did he first try to buy
Yeah,
NBC?
I'm looking it up.
Like a lot of these women coming forward was around the time each time he tried to buy NBC. I believe, like I said, recently when he put out that video about, black people need to do better or whatever, this shit started popping out again.
Mm.
And me personally, I wasn't like phased by it because I wasn't a big Bill Cosby fan or anything like that to begin with. But when this shit was being said, it's like, okay, either it's true or it's not. And then there's like,
Okay, so I see one that says
Well,
1992.
well, it was. I think when most people say buy, what's it called? When most people said buy NBC, they were also talking about the idea that he was making his return, I guess, to sitcom television, on NBC as well. Like, it's the idea if he was actually going to be back on TV as well. I think a lot of people, and that's even my fault to some degree, because again, nobody's perfect.
See, that's the thing. I keep saying at one time he tried. and I see an article that says in 1992 he tried. I don't see anything that says in 2014.
Well, in 2014 he was making his return to television, I believe, like mainstream sitcom television.
So there's nothing about him trying to buy it any other times or anything like that?
Yeah, like I said, I see 1992.
Which I believe there were accusations around that period of time.
I don't see anything
There's
like
accusations.
that's what I'm saying. We're trying to buy it this year.
Oh no, because I think it's that idea that it's
because I just find like again, this is one of these like.
So Mike's just saying like literally, like trying to.
This is kind of like an internet theorist type of thing that I'm trying to point out. It's like
I'm not gonna disagree. I'm not gonna say that it's one where like I think though that there is a clear connection here. That it's not just, and I don't want to say like I shouldn't say clear connection. There is some association in what is going on currently because again, and even if I'm not going to say necessarily this happening and the people coming out, the media coverage of it is indicative of an idea to stop because the media coverage right now, he has literally been basically being talked about in a negative fashion for what, the last year or so? Fucking Time magazine and like it's the idea of even if it's not the thing itself that caused it, the response to the situation is indicative of somebody is more than just, oh, this is a normal response. Because again, it comes up, they go to court, the court date happens, and it disappears. It's not. He is the worst person to ever be on television ever.
Yeah, see, my thing is, I just don't understand what's the gratification. Like, you tried to give me money, I said no. Now I put you in jail.
I guess the association is that.
But you see what I mean?
No, like, I get it. Like, it's a lot of it is stretching. It's people trying to. It's that idea of we got to come up with reasons why the white man is evil, not just.
And again, I go back to like, I can give you a more legitimate reason than that. It's like I said, he's a very outspoken black man, and they don't want to have him back.
Well, a lot of it, what people are saying is that because if he had bought NBC, it would have changed the black television perception.
Yeah,
because he would have probably put
more positive black images.
Positive black images. But he wasn't going to just. Let's not be dumb and think that Bill Cosby was just going to say, okay, now that I own NBC, I'm just not going to put anything on but black shows. No, he's not dumb. That's the thing. That's like no. It's just like again, this goes back to like some of the anger I had at some of Black America when it came to voting for Obama. I got sick and tired of people around me in this city talking about how he's going to like fix the black community and raise the black community. Like, he's the president of the fucking United States, not the president of Southeast DC, not the president of Compton, California. He's not working for just that one person, one community. Like, why would you think that?
Right. I never personally thought that.
Yeah, but it's just like I heard people say this, and then when like all of a sudden things didn't get fixed within 3 months, fuck that dude. He don't care. He like what? Do you understand how shit works?
To be fair, our own political system doesn't understand how doesn't understand how the country actually works in terms of actually getting things accomplished or not accomplished. So. I don't expect.
I totally agree, and again, that's where I get the issue with the people who say stuff like these conspiracy and all these things, because it's just like, I don't think life necessarily. Sure, there are times where things can go down in a weird way, but I don't think everything is like that, and I think you need to stop. I think that's one of our problems within our community. Like, again, going back to his pound cake thing, we got to stop that's why I find the whole thing ironic that he said in that speech, we need to stop continually blaming white people for all of our problems. And what is one of his biggest defenses? We blame white people. That's the fucking crazy. That's the thing that like just like blows my mind. It's like, wow.
Yeah. You said it. The fact that you said it.
Yeah.
It's a weird catch-22. I think because to say the statement that you just said, and look, if you are of Caucasian descent, are a part of white America, and don't like to hear me say this, I don't give a fuck. There are problems that are because of white America. Plenty of them. Does everything that ever happens, is that the fault of white America? No. By no means. By no stretch of the imagination. But I think it's a weird thing where it's been the go-to for so long.
Yeah, I mean, I was
That
listening to
people
somebody
just
talk
automatically
about.
use it.
Yeah, I was listening to somebody talk about different things. Like, I was listening to this podcast where they were talking about the Star Wars movie and about how black people's reaction to Finn. Like, a lot of people were saying, like, oh, he's just like a like shuck and jive character who's just there to make white people laugh and stuff like that. And they were
Didn't
like,
Finn have like one of the most prominent roles in the Force Awakens?
but because he didn't end up being the Jedi. Clearly, he's just there to be the black comedic relief.
But isn't there scenes of him holding the saber and all that?
Modem, stop using common sense.
Black America, no one race has a monopoly on ignorance. I just need you to recognize that.
Yeah. And the podcast, they made a really good point. They were like, not every black character has to be a certain thing. We got to get past the point of it's either one way or the other way. And you can be when it comes to characters, there's different facets to characters. But why is it that other races can have different facets? You can have common white people.
But black, you have to recognize that those aren't real characters then. The black community only has the good ones and the bad ones.
Yeah, and that's what they were talking about. They were like, it seems like people are only happy when you're the badass black dude, or they're angry when you're the funny black dude.
You can't have anything in between.
Why can't you be like Finn? Finn's not just a funny comic. He was a guy who was in a situation that he did not agree with, and he tried to escape it. He was trying to find himself into a better situation, and he was a hero. He was trying to escape like the wrong side and found himself with the good side and ended up putting himself in a position where he was a fucking hero. And he had a lot more depth than people were giving him credit. Sure, he had some funny moments, but you know what? So did Han Solo. I look at him as the Han Solo of this series. He's that like badass character who's got wit. Right now he was unsure because he knows, like, I used to be a part of these people. I know who they will fuck you up. We shouldn't fuck with them. But eventually he was like, you know what? Fuck it. We got to stop them. I can't run from them. I got to help get rid of them because they're fucked up people. You know what I mean? Right. So no, he's not a fucking, like, quote unquote coon, as motherfuckers want to try to make him out. But why do we do that?
I'm just kind of confused. Is he really not a Jedi? Like, I thought he had a saber.
You gotta watch the movie. You just watch the movie.
That's the thing. We don't know. Even sorry if we're spoiling.
Also, no.
But you do realize that there's 3 movies, people. Anything happens.
Let me be real. Look, so, and because I know the statute of limitations is passed on this. Anybody that read fucking Harry Potter, y'all motherfuckers want to tell me in the first fucking book, you knew that shit about Horcruxes. Like, the shit that's not revealed till 5 books. Like, it's the idea of you don't take the first part of a story and make assumptions. Be mad as fuck when this man comes out as like
Yeah.
The greatest Jedi that ever lived randomly just because y'all. Oh, see, this is what they should. No.
Yeah, that's the thing. I got into it with somebody in my chat too. They were like, they lied to us. He was supposed to be a Jedi. I was like, they never said he was a fucking Jedi. When did they say he was a Jedi?
He had a lightsaber, Black.
Yeah, it's like, but you saw the image and you just assumed,
50 women, rape. Like,
People
you lied to us.
Exactly.
Stories that
Exactly. It's just like we said, 50 women and rape. Boom. That's the whole story. No, there's a lot more to the whole dynamic.
Black man,
You just see,
lightsaber.
yeah, you just
Lightsaber?
cherry pick the images.
He's the next Mace Windu.
But that's, I think that's where, I guess, coming to it, that's just my whole biggest issue with this and just everything, period. It's like, we don't know the whole story. We're not being told the whole story. Because the media, again, they know what they're doing. They know how to, it's so easy to manipulate society these days. So they know when people pick certain things, they're just going to run with it because that gets them attention.
But we're smarter than that, Black. The media can't fool us.
That's the joke. We think because we have the access to the internet and all that, that we're smarter people. We're really not. We're dumb as fucking shit.
We have access to more. We
A
have
big part
access
of
to
it
more
is these
information.
trolls. You don't know what's real and what's fake.
Yeah.
I mean, we have access to more, but no less.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, because I really feel like the times where you actually had to go out and read the whole article to understand what's going on was more beneficial than you just listening to just like reading a tweet by Huffington Post. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like a title. It's like, because they're going to title things to grab your attention. And a lot of you ain't going to read that shit. You're just going to see that shit, you know, and but oh, that's what happened.
So I'm going to give a gaming example since people love to be gamers. Everybody out there that literally looked at the Pokemon review by IGN, and all you ever hear about the article is too much water. I have asked literally every single person I've come up on, like, what does that mean? Exactly, what does it mean? If you read the fucking article, she tells you exactly what she means in it.
I thought it was a great review too, honestly.
And that's what people don't get. Like, people literally, and I understand, you don't have a lot of time. All you care about is what they say in the pros and cons. You just need 3 words, maybe a couple different sets of 3 words, and you can determine if you want to buy a game or not. But do not turn that into like a fact as though that's what the person said. Those are 3 words that sum up like a few paragraphs of text in the document.
I just personally thought it was fucking hilarious.
Oh, I agree. It's just that people running around here be like, yo, but too much water though. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like okay, what is it? You said there's too much water in the game. Oh, well.
No, but she had like, it was like a funny play on words, really, like, because people. It was just so funny to me, dog. Like,
I'm not disagreeing.
Too
like
much water.
That piece, it was poorly worded. Like the summary was poorly worded, but at the same time, people didn't.
I don't think it was even poorly worded. I think it was purposely worded like that to be funny, like too much water. Like that is the funny ass statement, because if you listen to but read anything that this woman actually fucking said, you know, you would know that basically she was saying it was when you play on Sapphire, when you get into like going against the Sapphire Team Aqua, you fucking run into a lot of water Pokemon, and it makes the game harder for that person. I don't particularly know it made it harder for everyone else, but it was a good point, and I understood what she was saying, but I didn't take it like, oh, this bitch don't know what she's talking about. Too much water, like that's poor choice of words. Like, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, no, like I thought it was done purposely. Like that shit was funny to me.
Nope. All she's saying is too much water in the game. That's what she meant. No, like people. This is where I like, yo, we need to slow down.
Right,
learn how
and
to digest
that's what they
information.
take from reviews and shit, and from
And
articles. Too much water
I'm
to
I'm gonna
sum
tell
up
anybody
the
this as
whole
well.
thing.
I'm gonna tell everybody this as well. If there's something you want to talk about, but you can't take the time to read a 2-page article on the thing, don't fucking talk about it.
Yo, that shit wasn't even 2 pages, bro. That shit was like 2 paragraphs.
Like, if you can't take the time to do a minimal amount of research,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you know what? I need you to do just more than just Google and read the like fucking summary on Google.
and also
Because
just
I know a
I
lot of
don't
y'all
even think it's a summary. I think people are typing in Bill Cosby rape scandal.
and
Bill Cosby,
also
50 women came forward, rape. Like, oh shit, he did it. Like, I think they don't even read articles. They're not even clicking on shit. They're just looking it up on
right.
Google.
It's like you're
Yeah, it's
not
on
reading the whole
Google.
article. You like I said, you Google it and you see that like small little blurb they put for links. Like, oh shit, you know, it's like
It's real. It's real.
I
It's
could
a real
write
thing.
I could write an article. A flying modem kills it at the Call of Duty tournament where there were 100 kills in his match. But if you Google it, it'll just say it could just an excerpt say fire modem kills 100 at COD, and I'll say, oh fuck, modem just killed 100 people at COD. He's a
Yeah.
murderer. And they're like, no, did you read it? You just saw 3 words. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's how we are these days. We don't pay fucking attention to shit.
Yeah.
We think we do. Just like when people try to debate me on like different conspiracy theories, I'm like, okay, that's an interesting theory. I have to go look it up. You don't believe me? It says it right here. Like, okay, you
50
telling me,
women, rape. He did it. He did it. What are you talking
like,
about?
you telling me what you saw in your Google search ain't gonna help me. I want to actually look up and see and read and then form my opinion. I'm not gonna buy it just because you saw it on the internet. Get the fuck out of here. But that's the way we are.
People crazy.
So, yeah. People, please, the Bill Cosby thing. Let's chill out a little bit. If you do think he did it, okay, cool. If you don't think he did it, okay, cool. But the going back and forth with these conspiracy theories and these lame arguments that's based on minimal information, fucking ain't gonna really change nothing. Let the court case play out.
Minimal information is more like any information.
Yeah,
50
really.
women, rape.
Yeah,
He did
it's
it.
like, okay, they say there was an affidavit. None of us has read that
Too much
affidavit. I don't know what's
water.
in the affidavit.
That
I'm not
shit
going to
is
see. I
funny.
mean, like, I can't sit here and condemn him because I don't know the whole of the situation. And to be quite honest, I did this because I wanted to just mostly talk about what we were mainly talking about was people's reactions, how people digest this information, and all of that to get that out. As far as the case, like I can say for me, as far as the case is concerned, you know, hey, wish you luck, Heathcliff Huxtable, but whether you go to jail or not ain't going to change my life. Because I still gotta do what I gotta do for myself. So, yeah, you know,
But
that's
I don't even
basically it.
think.
I can't get to as hyped as all of these other people are over this. It's
I don't
not
even
emotionally
think it's
affecting me
like
like that.
that, yo.
Huh?
I don't even think it's like that. Like, it's not even like he said. Like these, he's not gonna get fucking trial. If anything, it's a fucking publicity stunt for like to be like, yeah, we put one of your black heroes in jail because he's a rapist or some shit.
Yeah,
Like, I
well,
just don't.
and even in that, my whole thing is like, okay, there's plenty of other black people who I can
Right.
look up to. It's like you can't taking one down isn't going to take the race down. And I think that's another thing that we need to realize as black people is that you can only do but so much. You know, taking him down and making him look like a bad figure does not condemn Black America. Um,
Right.
some people may think so, but if as a black community we don't believe that ourselves, fuck cares? I could care less because as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to try to be a positive influence. I mean, on everybody, but as far as the black community, that's my whole goal is to be a positive influence, and I can give a fuck less, like what people think. It's that's just me. I'm sorry.
Nah, I'm with you. That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say that in a video though, yo. 50 women rape. He did it. Like that shit is fucking hilarious. It's too much water. Like, oh my god, when people focus in on it's crazy.
Yeah, no, people focus.
It's like I'm sure people are like, I'm a victim shamer, and I, saying that Bill Cosby is impossible.
Coming towards all of us for this, which I can get fucked.
In case we didn't say it enough, none of us are saying that he did or did not do it, like guaranteed. We have our own personal opinions about it, but I'm not going to be out here saying he did or did not do it. No more am I going to say that the woman was or was not raped. It works both ways.
Right.
Yeah, you can have an opinion of something, and that doesn't mean that you endorse certain behavior.
Just as many people are saying, just as many women that are accusing him, there's people who are saying he would never do that.
Now that's.
I don't know the man personally, so I can't tell.
Right. I'm saying, like, he has people that are actually saying he would never do that. There are people that say that, and I'm not talking about the general public. I'm talking about people around him that still supports him and shit. His, TV wife, what's the bitch named Claire Huxtable or whatever. She thinks he didn't do it, and he would never do that. You know what I'm saying? So, all in all, like I said, if he did it, he should be, put in jail for it. If he didn't, we should let this shit go and, accept it or whatever. But that's when it's like, we'll never know for sure. And there will be those people who are like, well, if he's not convicted, he's innocent. But that's not necessarily true because people get away with shit all the time. But if he is convicted, that doesn't necessarily mean he's a rapist. Because people get convicted of crimes they did not commit all the time. So it's a real finicky thing to even be arguing over, to even be up and roar about, and so on and so forth. Especially, like, one of the dudes in the COD community, I think he said it best. He's like, he has no sympathy for adult women who knowingly takes drugs with someone and is just nonchalant about it. Like me personally, I don't trust motherfuckers. You giving me some shit, I want to see the bottle. I want to read the shit for myself.
You ask way too many questions.
Nah, fuck all that. I'm trying to live out this bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, you're like me. I'm not that trusting of people. Like, nah, you tell me.
I don't even trust my mom's like that. She's like, oh yeah, here, take this. What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, that's always my first.
Robitussin, just drink it.
Nah, hell nah. I couldn't do that shit. It's just crazy to me. And even then, even if you knowingly take drugs and all that shit, that doesn't mean someone gets to do whatever the fuck they want with you. But at the same time, you should know better. You're a fucking adult, for one, but you should know better to just naively, well, shit, it's Bill Cosby. What is Bill Cosby gonna do? Like, what the fuck is the thinking behind some shit like that? Like, I don't give a fuck who it is. It could have been Jesus himself offered me some shit. Like, nigga, what the fuck is this shit? I don't give a fuck. That shit crazy. To me, I just personally couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's not that difficult. Trust me, it works.
Nah, man.
You only get fucked up once or twice.
Hell no.
A month.
That's how motherfuckers be smoking weed and shit, thinking it's just weed. It be laced with cocaine and shit. Then they turn into crackheads.
You end up like smoking first Friday.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
just smoking and
trusting and shit. Like, oh yeah, this my nigga. Like, he not gonna lace no shit. He not gonna do something. You don't know what the fuck he be doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's also goes for Bill Cosby. We don't know what the fuck he can do. He couldn't be out this motherfucker, you know, doing his little dance, talking about I'm about to put my pudding pop in this dead bitch. Like, shit, who knows? Honestly. But,
the funny thing, I can see some shit like that. Like he does the second dance for the Cosby Show with the pudding pop in his hand.
Oh my God. It's just the point, yo. Like, we don't know for sure.
I know.
It's so bad.
I know, but that just brought that fucking shit to my head.
For real, yo.
All right, I'm down. This shit. And even then, I still am not like saying that he did it. I'm just
right.
Yo, well, please, people, calm down. All right, let's wrap this up. I'm dumb as shit. Okay, anyway.
50 women, rape. He did it. He fucking did it. It's everywhere.
Man. You gotta love society today. But thank you, gentlemen.
I'm gonna say this too before we end this shit, yo. Even though the justice system is fucked up, it's obviously fucked up. I am so glad it's not like 50 women, rape. He did it. He did it. Throw his ass in jail. I'm so glad it's not like that. This country would be so more like fucked up than it already is. Like, oh my God, could you imagine some shit like that? Like,
yeah, like if you brought a trial to case and the prosecution's case is, well, last night so-and-so tweeted that they saw Bill Cosby put a pill in a girl's drink. Clearly, Your Honor, he's doing this because they tweeted it out, and they'd be like, "I'll allow that." Like what? No,
yeah, it's indisputable proof. That nigga did it.
In that day and age, can I just say that my first case, clearly, I tweeted out and made a statement that proves that PewDiePie stole my YouTube channel. I would like to return all my subscribers and revenue at once. Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
Shit, man, fuck his channel. I would just love to just take a video. Let me put a claim on that nigga video. Give me the money off one video. I'll be straight.
But that's what the reason we can laugh is like, and if you out there thinking that any of this is serious, I'm gonna need you to step back, slap yourself.
That shit would be crazy. Like, yeah, PewDiePie is using one of those words I use in my videos all the time, so I'm putting a claim on this shit. Give me that money.
Right. Like, nah, it don't really work like that, sir.
50 women, rape. He did it. He
Okay,
did it.
let's go, because I think oh, if we offended you, I can't really say sorry right at this point, because, I mean, sorry.
Dislike and unsubscribe.
I put it this way, I'm sorry that you're offended.
If you're looking for a place where you won't be offended, go to www.youtube.com/YoruStrix. We do not offend people over there.
Oh my God, we don't even offend people. We on my channel.
Yeah, exactly. Send all hate mail to the Edifying Modem.
No, but seriously, if you're offended, I would advise you go back and listen to what we were saying and not like just cherry pick.
Right.
You realize there's nothing to be offended by. Okay.
Look, I'm gonna make it difficult for you. Look, if you want to excerpt from this thing, Bill Cosby, doesn't matter, guilty, not guilty, rape, not rape. What? There you go.
That should be the title. 50 women, rape.
Honestly,
he did it. He
the tag to the video too. I bet you somebody puts that. I should put 50 women, Bill Cosby rape. He did it in the tag. I bet you you're gonna get hit.
You gotta put it like this. You gotta put 50 women and then like ... rape ... He fucking did it. He fucking did it. Like, yo, people go out of control with that fucking title.
That'll probably be the #1 rated like fucking search in the whole thing.
Oh my
Okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with this, man. Again, thank you, gentlemen, for coming through and having this discussion. We will be having more discussions like this on the channel. So look out. Prod, me and you. Hold on. You might be able to get into this too if you want. Have you watched Jenny Jones? Jessica Jones.
What Jenny? What the fuck?
I don't know. Look, God damn it, we're talking about tabloid shit, and like that's the first thing that came to my mind was the talk show host.
What the fuck is it? Jessica Jones?
Jessica Jones. It's a show on Netflix.
All I'm gonna say is this: go on Netflix, watch like a couple episodes, and I guarantee you will watch the entire damn thing.
Yeah,
the
show's fucking awesome. But yeah, okay, me and you have to do our discussion on Jessica Jones, so look out for that. I have to do my Walking Dead thing because I actually got to catch up with the season. So
you actually watching Game of Thrones this season, Blak?
This past season?
The new one, the newest season.
When does it start again?
Soon.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I just don't remember when it starts. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it because this is gonna be the first season that's totally devoid of the books influence. So they just gonna do what the fuck they want, and it's gonna be glorious.
Game of Thrones season 6.
Huh?
April 8th. No, wait. Okay. No, April 16th, 2016. Excuse me.
Okay. Yeah, they've already been kind of doing what the fuck they want, but now they're really gonna do what the fuck they want. It's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be fucking awesome. I can't wait.
Then we got Luke Cage.
Sorry. Yeah, and Daredevil's coming out in March. Yeah. Anyway, you guys make sure to follow the links in the description. I'm gonna have Modem and YoruStrix channels, Twitter handles, all that. Ooh. So if you want to like come at us on social media, that'll be fun.
Twitter.com Flying Modem. Twitter.com Flying Modem.
We out here. Women. Right?
Again, thank you again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Oh my god.